noticed that, didn't you?
Here we are in Asheville, and he's getting ready to actually put something on the World Wide Web that could actually catch on throughout the United States,
Throughout the whole world.
I mean,
this thing could potentially be as big or bigger than YouTube and MySpace and all that stuff. Very easily, it could be that big, and I hope it does. I would love.
Well, I hope it does too.
I would love a year from now to have 50 million members and be able to look on CNN and they say, I was looking, they say you need to go to thisismyband.com/whatever and see this video.
Yeah,
that'd be the coolest thing.
Well, you know what you do. You need to while the pumpkins are. I think tonight might be the last night of the pumpkins. I think while the pumpkins are in town, you may as well run by the pumpkins and get them on it. It would be a good start.
Red
I don't know that they would see me, but
where is your server?
I have a boatload of servers, and I keep them in Atlanta because it's easier that way.
Because they don't have any T1 lines running here that I know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they do.
They've got them, but boy, I tell you what, I'm on T3 lines. I got 2 T3 lines and a redundant T1 line for backup, and then I got 150 servers in a room with a halon gas fire extinguisher, which I've already had tested because one of the servers caught on fire one time.
Yeah, all my websites are out of a hosting service in Tennessee, but the servers are in Texas. So.
How many servers you got?
I got 150.
That's what I thought you told me.
I got 150. Actually, I got 151 now because I bought one specifically for this site. It has 4 gigs of RAM. It has 1 terabyte of hard drive. It has 2 3.8 gigahertz Pentium processors in it.
It has 4. What did you say?
4 gigabytes of RAM.
No, Pentium processors.
Oh, 3.8 gigahertz.
How many processors?
2 of them.
Two.
Yeah, 2
okay.
of them. And then what I'll do is, as I see the memberships grow, I'll just start adding to that, and eventually I'll branch off, and all the videos will be actually saved on different servers, so that the actual server itself that hosts the website is not being bogged down by those videos,
right,
and so on. But right now, I've got it set up just for one server right now. But it'll be very easy.
Right, you could let that server be the server that people were uploading to, and you could let other ones be
the
downloading.
Servers. Yeah.
So when someone signs on, let's say they want to search a certain area, let's say bands in Asheville. Can they just type in Asheville or zip code and
they can type in? They can search like that. They can search. They can search by the band's name. They can search by the music type. They can search by the user. They'll be able. Yeah, I mean it's pretty open for whatever you want to search for.
Song names,
anything like that.
You just had a new subscriber.
And I got. Did you join?
Did you look at it?
All right.
I was watching.
There's only one video on it right now, and it's a dancing hippo that's singing the Lion King song.
Is that the Hippo, or?
It's the hippo singing the Lion King song, and he's got a little dog behind him, beside him, doing the dance, and he's like going. But that was basically for a test.
I'll definitely check
it
out. Hippos are us.
Did you see you saw the first part of the show? I take it.
I didn't actually. I happened to miss the first part of the show. I've only seen about 20 minutes. I picked up where you guys were talking about Star Wars.
Have you seen any? Yeah. Okay. Then you've seen the musical section of the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, some of it.
Okay.
Because I have to leave and come up here, obviously.
Okay. Well, yeah. But we have a music video ready to download. I can just slice it right off of the.
There you go. Absolutely.
And it's pretty highly compressed because I'm putting 3 hours on that disc. So it's already at a pretty high compression rate. I just have to slice it out of there and send it down. I think we can easily get a couple of songs.
Absolutely.
But did you hear how good they were?
I did.
They were excellent, weren't they?
Yes, they were.
Yes, I remember when I choked on my own saliva a couple of times.
Did you hear the Wolf song?
About
the wolf?
No, I don't think I did.
It was awesome. The Last Wolf. It was awesome. That was.
What's your username?
Rat Jackson. That's the name of the band.
Rat Jackson.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
That's perfect.
thisismyband.com/Rat Jackson.
Rat Jackson.
Rat.
Jackson. R-A-T. Rat Jackson.
Rat Jackson.
When you looked at the website, what do you think other band members or band leaders would think about it? What do you think they would do?
It looks good. I don't know. I kind of need to see with some other people up on there with other videos.
Mhm.
You're right. There's only one.
Yeah.
Up there
Well,
now.
we're not officially open until Monday, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to get some bands to go ahead and start uploading some videos. We got about 4 bands
Yeah,
on
so
there now.
You got
And,
something that's on there.
I need.
and
does
I'll
somebody
feature
have something to write with?
anybody
Yes.
that
Can
starts
you
putting their videos on
make
there. I'll
him-
feature them right
make
now.
him write
It'll
that
be easy
stuff
for me to
down.
feature them.
Make him
Make him write that stuff down.
write it all down. Write
Where's
the
your gun?
website down.
Where's your,
And what should I write it on?
No, and write the website
What
down,
should I
and
write
also
it on?
write that Studio South.
Right, just the back
Down.
of this is fine.
Yeah, right on the back of that would be great. Yeah, and so that as soon as I get a break, I can go online. But I won't even remember it. But I want to go on and I want to chop up some pieces of this video, and I think that I think the Wolf song ought to go on there.
I've got another one I think you.
And the first song you did a funny song first. What was it?
I don't know. What was it?
And I will say that
You can make it, man. You can.
Yeah.
Now was
Things you
Studio
find at home.
was Studio South
Do it yourself was the name of that one.
Studio
my handwriting's terrible, John.
was that Studio
It's
South?
Studio South. Oh, it's
dot
not. It's
com?
dot TV. It
It
is.
is
It's
dot-
dot TV.
Uh-huh.
You're absolutely right. I'm glad you pointed it out to me.
I know you went to my webpage, and there's a whole server sitting there that's doing nothing but just keeping up that webpage of mine.
Really?
Yeah.
you got a whole server for that?
Yeah.
I got quite a few songs in here
what's
that
that
are sort of
website
redneck.
Studio South was that
technology
guy
or
that was in here
science fiction or
earlier.
whatever.
It's a lady that does local productions, and I guess she films videos. I guess that's what she does, is film videos. The way
Yeah.
it looks.
Yeah.
And right now she's not using. It could be that they want to keep it exclusive to their site, which is fine, because everything says exclusively here, so they're not
Uh-huh.
using YouTube or anybody. They're just putting
Right.
it on there, and
Right.
it has to use QuickTime.
Uh-huh.
But see, now they could set up a profile as a fan instead of a band. Just set it up as a fan, and then they could upload videos privately, and nobody could even see them on thisismyband.com, and they could just link to them, just use the links and put it right on their website, and it'd play. Because I always provide,
Uh-huh.
I'll provide links to everybody, so you can put it on your MySpace or on your website or wherever you want to put it. At
So
your
you're
blogger
you're,
site or
pro- you're
whatever.
providing free storage for
Basically that's what it is. yeah.
for your videos,
Yeah.
but it is restricted to a thing that's going to require some pretty serious compression.
Well, not serious compression, but no more than what people that's used to it will know.
Uh-huh.
It's no more than what any of the rest of them require. It's
100
just
megabytes?
100 megabytes. But the secret is you can
Yeah, I
upload.
heard.
Did you hear that? Okay.
What is that?
But
The secret is what?
Nothing. We won't say that
There's
anymore.
no secret.
But
There is no secret.
we'll just leave that for the people that heard it a few minutes
Okay.
ago. I'll tell you later.
All right, tell me later.
I better stop talking about it.
Just in case there's more than 15
yeah,
people
just in
watching.
case somebody else tuned in. But yeah, it's no more than
because I'm
anybody
going to
else.
need several gig for these
Well,
tea,
you don't-
for every tea party is going to require several gig, and I'm
Yeah, you can
doing
just
tea
give him
parties.
extra space. It is the exclusive.
I'll
home
just
of
buy a
the
server just
Mad
for you.
Scientist Tea Party.
I'll just buy a terabyte just for you. A terabyte hard drive.
I'll just,
But, this is I'm sporting my. It's 4th of July week, so I'm on vacation. Look,
yeah. I'll
you see me yesterday, and I was the same way.
I'll pitch in for the hard drives. You know.
But I'm excited about it. I am so excited about this site. You don't know how excited I am. And the few testers I've had testing it helped me through the errors and stuff. Because people, when you build something like that, you can never find all the errors, but other people can.
Right.
And it's about 97% error proof. I know that once it gets out there to the masses, there's still going to be a few.
You say the testers. Are you in touch with people that are beta testing for you?
There was 10 people beta testing for me, and a few of them were so excited about it that they were just like, "We got to tell somebody. I got to tell somebody." And I thought, well, I don't know. No, don't. And finally, one of them, which was my niece, she's a big MySpace fan. She said, "Let me tell somebody." And I said, "All right, just tell one person." But I said, "Tell them not to tell." So she told a guy in Florida that she's friends with on MySpace.
Oh no.
And
Told him not to tell.
and within 24 hours there was like 200 and some people already signed up. So
Wow.
I was like, oh my goodness, I don't. So yeah, it's currently it's almost got 300 members now, but most of them still know that we're still testing. So most of them's been good and not really. I had to put a thing on there. You probably seen it says we're still. uploading
All right.
stuff or
I
stuff.
think we're gonna have another song. Do me a favor and move that cup that's not in a saucer over closer to you. Yeah, that's good. And did you get any tea?
I didn't.
No, you
Let me. You got cream this time, don't you?
captive
We do.
So what you got there? You got.
I got some of this kind.
What is that?
One song.
That's pretty picture tea. Hang on. Let's see. It's
This ain't rock tea.
no, it's this.
I'm helping screen
Is it good?
documentaries for
It's
the
all right.
Asheville Film Festival. That's on the. It's my Thursday
Well,
night. thing.
as
Well, I
you may
reckon-
also know, I'm on the ConCom for RevolutionCon 4, which is
Also
our 4th
recommend
annual
some-
science fiction
Something to make
convention.
it sweet. Yeah.
We haven't been getting very many people showing up, but we're still throwing it. And it's the only such convention in Asheville. There have been a couple that ran for 1 year and died.
Now what is it called?
The RevolutionCon number 4.
Revolutioncon.
RevolutionCon.
I've seen that advertised at the end of the video. About
Did
it.
you?
I didn't know what it was.
Well, it's an annual
Okay.
science fiction
All right.
convention.
Well, we'll
science
have
fiction, fantasy,
an hour between
gaming,
this show and the next.
and
So you
music.
gonna be in next show?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna come to the next show.
I'll be there as I have been every year. We have had
Okay.
as many as 65 paying members.
Ralph. Oh yeah, I know Ralph. Well, I don't know him. But you know.
We'd like to get a few hundred people out, you know. It'd be a lot easier to.
Where does
justify
it take place?
It's going to be at the Sheraton, which used to be the Best Western. It still says Best Western. By November, it'll be a Sheraton.
Okay.
The one there on Woodfin Place,
Right. Okay. Yeah.
right
Very
down
good.
from the what used to be Clyde Savings is now Home Trust Bank.
Right.
Okay, sure.
Right down there, it's going to be
He's gonna be right back.
November 3rd and
I'll be right
4th, I
back.
All right.
think.
You
Whatever
coming back?
weekend around that time is.
All right. All right. Listen to the song.
This is for you, John.
No.
When I pulled old 307 out of Marsport, the weather station said storms all the way. They stuck me with a cargo of live chickens, a dozen drunken miners, and 5 hungover Shriners. The brake jet linings overworn and pitted. The gasket on the cargo hatch was gone. I figured we could get as far as Phobos, but I didn't think we'd get much further on. So now I'm looking for an asteroid named Rest Stop. Relief driver damn well better be waiting for me there. 'Cause after 15 hours of bussin', 3rd class cargo and riders cussin', I just might drive to blazes and not care. I chugged on up to Phobos on our last fumes and prayed their engineers could heal my jets. 'Cause storms had broke the locks and freed the chickens, and they were crapping on the miners and running from the Shriners. My jets were full of feathers and limp fezzes, and my 2 latrines were backed up in the hall, with chicken crap and ore dust on my main bridge. I could only hope that Phobos heard my call. And now I'm looking for an asteroid named Rest Stop. Relief driver damn well better be waiting for me there. 'Cause after 15 hours of busing, relief driver and 3rd class cargo and riders cussin', I just might drive to blazes and not care. At Phobos port they held me up in docking. Then they stuck me off in Bay 117, downwind. The customs man walked in, breathed once and fainted. Then got up, ran out and screamed for a fumigation team. The passengers ran for the door and jammed it, and it took more than an hour to haul them clear. I found a bar and broke some regulations. Then I went out looking for an engineer. So now I'm looking for an asteroid named Rest Stop. Relief driver damn well better be waiting for me there. 'Cause after 15 hours of busing, 3rd class cargo and riders cussin', I just might drive to blazes and not care. I found this Joe Von Krugen on a bar stool, so drunk on coolant fumes he couldn't stand. I told him I could pay him in fresh chickens if he'd try to fix my drive so we could leave that port alive. He staggered to my ship and stood there laughing while bedraggled, spaced-up chickens filled the air. He sat down on the nearest passed-out Shriner, and he said, just shoot this ship, it's only fair. It's dead, Jim. And now I'm looking for an asteroid named Rest Stop. Relief driver damn well better be waiting for me there. 'Cause after 15 hours of bussin', third-class cargo and riders cussin', I just might drive to Blazes and not care. I called the third shift office and they told me, son, there ain't no place that's short of your next stop. I paid out 4 fat chickens for a patch job. Got my riders back on board, then in came 7 more. God, they were Martian mercenaries, mean as cat dirt. And some damn fool miner offered them a fight. They was hacking through my back seats with machetes as I cleared that Bergen road out to the night. So now I'm looking for an asteroid named Rest Stop. Relief driver damn well better be waiting for me there. 'Cause after 15 hours of bussin', third-class cargo and riders cussin', I just might drive to Blazes and not care. I lock the ports and hole up in my cabin, and I listen to the ruckus in the rear. And I got a wild idea and cut the G-force and let the folks foul and all go mix up in free fall. Now I nurse the engines off toward that asteroid. When they ask me what my cargo is, I'll say it's free fall Martian stew and chicken gumbo, and that station better not be far away. So now I'm looking for an asteroid named Rest Stop. Relief driver damn well better be waiting for me there. 'Cause after 15 hours of bussin', third-class cargo and riders cussin', I just might drive to Blazes and not care. Yeah, I just might drive to Blazes and not care. Thank ya. I'll let you out.
That was great. That'll go over well at the
were you trying to get out?
Revolution Con. Yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah, everyone's got to
You got a cup of tea in you?
Got a question for
Yep, I had to have 1 cup. That was real good.
Thank you.
I like the sci-fi
you.
truckers
So your
thing.
class starts half hour early tonight?
You say you have a question?
Is your class start a half hour early tonight?
Start a half hour early?
Yeah, because somebody's under the impression that you were started a half hour late last time and they were going to make it up this time.
No, I think we went a half hour late last time.
Right,
Didn't we?
right. So I have people out front wondering if the class is starting at 6:30.
Uh-uh.
No, because we're on the air.
If you recall, last time at 7 o'clock, we had what, 1 person here?
Right.
And it was like, by the time half the class was here, it was like 6:30 or something. Right? Well, who's out there now? The same person that was here at 6 o'clock last
No, I
time?
don't know if Vogel's out there yet. Kasha's out there now, and she wants to go in there and play with the stuff, and she's not certified, and the instructor's not there, so I don't really.
The class is supposed to start at 7.
Out of the words of the instructor's mouth.
The class is supposed to start at 7, and if I have students, there's how many students out there? 1?
One last time I came in, yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I say, last time I could have started a bit earlier, but there weren't enough students to, warrant it. You know what I'm saying? But the class starts at 7. It doesn't start at 6:30.
Okay. Thank you. See you at 7.
Unless you want to teach it. I mean, do you want to go in and play with the stuff? Today is today what? Yeah. They can start. They can start the class at 6:30, and the assignment is to decide exactly what their TV show that airs at 8 o'clock.
Right.
Is exactly. They can start a panel discussion among themselves about exactly what they're going to do.
Send it back here. You're
Huh?
the instructor. I'm gonna send it back here.
Sure.
right?
That works.
Airtime. So, this is about what it looked like when I was when I got home about 3:45. I turned on the TV at 4, and there's John Blackwell puttering around, and nobody else here, and I said, gee, he looks lonely.
I'm glad you came by. I'm always glad you come by. And you always sing such good songs. And do you care for more tea?
I think I'm teed out.
Do you? All right. I don't know if we consumed all this tea. We probably have. No, there's a little of that left. A little of that. A little of this. Me, I just go ahead and overdose on tea. That's what it's like. That's what the tea party's all about for me. I can just count on overdosing on some tea. What have you done? Have you come up with another song you want
Oh,
to
I've got plenty of stuff I can play, John.
Listen to all that racket out there.
Okay, so we got it, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get back in here. I missed John last week.
Y'all just sounded like you. What were you doing out there?
They're talking about a PSA, doing a PSA for the studio. Yeah, and want to include you in it.
A PSA.
Yeah.
A public service announcement.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And want to include you in it, and me and Richard and anybody else, I guess, that wants to.
It's just a little clip that will show what we're going to talk about, whatever your concerns are, whatever mine is, and then you say, well, hey, we've got difference of opinions, but we still all agree to one thing, and that's to support
Thanks to
public access.
Yeah, thanks to public access, we're able to get our
Something
opinions
She
expressed.
said she's going to write it for us. So
She's gonna write it
She's
for
going to
us.
write it for us.
We're able to get our
we all
opinions
break
expressed.
into a fight at the
And
end.
then,
We
we may, but I definitely want a pie in the face.
Yeah, he wants a pie.
I definitely want a pie in the
Find
face.
the right person to throw it at him.
Well, John, I bet John would.
I just-
All I gotta do is just say, John, I think that was inappropriate. And he said, yeah, that's what I think about that.
from the word go. Listen, didn't I pit you against? Was it you that I pitted against my junkie friend? That was yeah. Actually, I didn't pit anybody against anybody.
He was in here.
But y'all just wound up at the same time as what y'all did, and I was thinking about that. But when Pat was trying to get me to do a show with Don, which I just know it's a bad idea. But anyway, but my first comment was if we could have a food fight. So if we're gonna have any more of those shows,
I hope not.
then there's got to be green beans and mashed potatoes, pinto beans. I'm wanting to see some food on the table.
The word is you need a delay too.
Yeah, I need a delay.
Well, I'm working on a time machine.
Yes, I heard about the portal. You've ordered parts.
I've ordered. We see what a lot of people don't realize is that you use a lot of the same equipment for wormholes, control of wormholes, as you use for oh no, what do they call that? Temporal
holes. Yeah.
Temporal
or portals.
Control.
Yeah.
So anyway, the equipment has. I got the word that the equipment has been ordered. Now I'm going to put it together with some of my own equipment to make it happen. But I have high hopes. We're gonna see it. It's all experimental, But
Are we gonna test it on live TV?
I'm gonna run. Hopefully, I'm gonna run some tests before we go live TV with it, and hopefully it work some bugs out or do
Plug
something.
the thing in,
we'll
all
see.
the lights go out in the city.
If it's really bad, we just won't do it, But
So if you all have problem, if we have a major blackout in Asheville, you know what happened.
Or if you wake up tomorrow and it's yesterday,
that's right.
then there was a leak.
That's right. And if there's a problem, I'll go back and fix it.
Hey, then what we could do is take my program, go back to just a few months before MySpace started.
No.
Buy the domain name MySpace.com, then come back to the future.
You should make your anyway. So you said you heard our discussion of the
Star Wars.
of the particle beam accelerator.
And I do know about all the controversy about the government hiding the fact that the first shuttle launch was unmanned and unoccupied with anything. And of course, you know,
it
of course there was
achieved
something in
it achieved its mission with its first flight.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it was, and I don't believe it's ever carried a load that big since then.
I don't know. Did they not take a part up?
Okay, now you know what's going on now. What's going on now is still part of what was going on then.
Right.
And now they're unrolling large solar cells.
Right.
And you may know that large solar cells in space, you're talking about some very, very serious power. Solar cells on Earth are a lot of the power of the sun is blocked out by the
UV.
But a lot of the power of the sun is blocked out and stuff, and dealing in gravity and what have you. In space, you can roll out very thin,
paper thin
solar cells, and you can roll out acres and acres
of them, yeah,
of solar
absolutely.
cells, and they'll stay right there,
Absolutely.
and they'll produce massive current.
In fact, the sun itself it produces enough energy it can actually move an object. You don't even have to have solar cells. You can just throw out some wings, and the
solar
flares, the winds, the winds. That's right, not the solar flares, but the solar winds will just move it.
But when all this happened, what happened to me was, like I say, I saw the launch and stuff, the first one, and I thought to myself, you know, there's something up here. So I got to thinking about it and talking it over with some friends, and we had decided that that there was a large particle beam accelerator, that we just figuring out what was going on.
Of course, the government now admits that there was something on there.
Yeah, but they've never said what it was.
They've never said what it was.
Right, it's a secret. But
I mean, Reagan's probably the only person that's ever got close to even talking about it.
Yeah.
But then it quickly just died down. They said the test didn't work, forget about it, and nobody never talks about it anymore.
Well, he was the first president to acknowledge it could be other living beings in this universe.
But what we did is I was in Florida at the time and stuff, and it turned out that I ran across people that, you know, worked with the Cape and stuff like that in some pretty good positions, and so I discussed some of these things with them, and I really, you know, I really shouldn't say who or what, you know, but, you know, so I think I've got a pretty good idea on what's going on.
Now, what's your theory? Because I have a theory.
I think it has to do with with how we won the Cold War.
Well,
that's what I think.
Well, I was going to elaborate on the space station.
Yeah. It's anybody's guess, but go ahead.
Well, I believe by the looks. I mean, we're now seeing pictures from inside the what they say, anyways, inside the space station. You never know how somebody's going to, you know, fool you or whatever. But assuming they are, the stuff that's inside that space station looks very, very, very old. Now, I know the Russians are the ones that started it. That could be an indication. But to me, I just can't help but think that space station's been up there since the 50s or 40s or 60s or somewhere around there. I mean, I can't help but think that.
Well, there was a space station up there, but this is all a new one, isn't it? Yeah.
This just doesn't look neat. Have you seen some of the pictures?
No,
I've
not. And
you need to go to NASA.org.
And did you hear?
Well, it is possible that if a lot of the components were built by the Russians, it's entirely possible that it's got a different aesthetic.
Yeah, that's entirely possible. And I understand that.
The Russians don't build. They build stuff that's very reliable, but doesn't have a lot of bling.
It doesn't have a lot of bling, but
Bland.
it just appears to me to be older than what they're saying, which is just only a few years old. But I don't know. That's just my theory. I have a lot of theories about the government and extraterrestrial stuff because I have personally.
Am I to think you believe in extraterrestrials?
Yes, because I personally have witnessed a UFO at very, very, very close range, and it was amazing.
Well, tell us about it.
Yeah, tell us about it. I'm being called out. You should be coming in.
Is there anything left here? I think so. Yeah.
So you're staying for the night show at 8:30.
I am, yeah.
Sweet.
I wanted to wait till John was in here to elaborate on that.
Okay, well, we can change the subject for a minute.
For a minute, we'll change the subject.
I was in the studio doing some microphone experiments. Professor Blackwell gave me this microphone, which was very kind of him. He was showing me how it can be used to mic a bass drum, but I've been also using it whenever I'm on the air and having my own microphone. I've been using this as my microphone, and I was just in the studio, set this up, one of the omnidirectional studio microphones up, and I was just muting one then the other and listening to the difference, and this thing sounds great. Because apparently, as battered as it is, he has modified this one as well, he tells me.
Show me a mic he hasn't modified.
Apparently, they all are.
He's modifies things that just, it's unreal to me. I don't even... I don't know. I know something a little bit about electronics. Well, I know a little more than a little bit. I went to school for it, but I couldn't do some of the stuff he does. I don't know how in the world he takes things apart and just modifies it. And no, you're back now. So
yes.
We were just talking about how you're kind of brilliant.
I'm wanting to hear about.
Well, I was
your
purposely
UFO.
waiting on you to get back.
All right.
When I was a kid, I say kid, I was 14. We were coming back from a basketball game that I had just played at. And we were on 240 over here as it goes right into, because I grew up in Woodfin. We were on 240 as it loops right around the Smoky Park Bridge there. Where now, you got Sam's Club and all that over here, and 240 just comes right off the interstate and just loops right up, and you just come right over across Smoky Park Bridge and you go off to Woodfin.
Yeah.
And we were right there, and traffic just came to a dead stop. And we couldn't, I remember my dad specifically saying, I don't know why traffic stopped. And once we got stopped and we realized, because it was late, it was about 10 o'clock at night. Once we realized that what was going on, people were just standing out in the middle of the street. They were standing up on the bridge. There's an overpass up there. They were standing on the bridge. They were stopped on people were just stopped everywhere and looking. So we thought, well, what's going on? So we got out of our car and we looked, and there was this gigantic thing above us, and it was so low. It was humongous. Now, to me as a kid, it was very humongous. But in all reality, it was probably about 4 football fields square. But it was round. But it wasn't, you'd figure 4 foot. And it was so low to the ground that you could see through the windows. You could literally see through the windows, and you could see shadows of people or something walking back and forth.
Spherical, or
it was round.
Round.
It was
like
round.
a saucer.
It was round, just like a saucer.
Okay, and you could see through the windows.
Could literally see through the windows. It had windows. It almost
were they round windows or square?
They were square windows, and it was almost identical to the Star Trek. Have you ever seen the Star Trek, the round part of Star Trek, and how it has windows all the way around it? It didn't have little bulbs below it or above it. It was just a big solid object, and it was almost identical to that. And it was down, and it was. And
you would say it was as big as 4 football fields.
It was as big as 4 foot. Of course, to me, it was like.
Was it above your head, or was it?
It was like if we were standing here, it was kind of like right here. Okay. Like that. It wasn't directly over top of us. It was like this. So it would have been more over the Smoky Park Bridge.
And you could see in the windows. What could you see in the windows?
You could see shadows of somethings. I'll say a bunch of somethings.
Did it appear to be made of metal?
It appeared to be made of what I would call now some kind of platinum, because it was a dull. It was kind of not platinum, but solder, like lead. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of. Because it was kind of dull. It was dull
gray.
But you couldn't really tell because it was dark. It was 10 o'clock at night. But from the shadows, from the lights that were on it shining in various areas, it kind of looked like it.
But there was enough light shining on it and stuff. Well, that you could see.
It was so low that the street lights were
shining on it, so you could. It was. There was enough light that you could tell what you were seeing. It wasn't like, oh well, there was some light. There weren't some lights in the sky.
No, it wasn't a cloud passing by. It wasn't somebody that passed gas, and it wasn't a helicopter.
Right. Well, okay, are you ready? Are you ready to say right now? It was like you do not. Are you ready to say I have absolutely no doubt in my mind this was a full-fledged UFO?
Absolutely no doubt in my mind that this is a full-fledged UFO. And my dad will tell you that, my mom will tell you that, my sister will tell you that. And if we could find all those people, they would tell you the exact same thing. It was never on the news. It was never written up about, and I'm sure people called about it. But back then there wasn't a 911 system or anything like that to call. And but this thing, it wasn't making a single noise.
Right.
And it just kind of sat there. And I know we was out there, and again, as a kid, it seemed like forever. But in reality, it was probably 3 or 4 minutes. We just stood there with all these other people, and as cars were coming up, they were stopping and getting out. And then all at once, it was just there. And the next thing you know, I mean, you couldn't even, it was so quick, you didn't even see it fly away.
It never made a sound in the process.
It never
did
made
it?
a sound in the process. It was just gone.
Sounds like to me, I mean, this is just
it may
my
have just sat
opinion.
there. It may have just turned invisible. I don't know. Because it didn't look like it even flew away. It was just gone. It just vanished.
They can move really fast. This is again a time in the show where we say the views and opinions expressed on this show are those held by the people expressing them.
But I'm telling you on my life, folks, that was a UFO.
And
it was extraterrestrial.
And I'm absolutely believing you because I've seen one too.
There's no way. I can't.
How close
not even
were
a
you
theory.
to it?
It was 75 at least. It was about 75 feet above us. I mean, it was close. It was close.
Well, in distance, was it above you?
No. Like I say, we were standing here, and it was like this, and it was about 75 feet or so above us.
And how far
out? The edge of it was maybe 100 feet out.
Okay.
Something like that. I mean, it was close. It was right. I mean, it would be like standing in downtown and looking through the window of BB&T building on the 15th floor. I mean, that's
Right.
Okay. It's right
yeah.
there.
The one that I saw, I would say at the closest point was easily as close as from here to the street.
Yeah.
Out there,
About 100 yards or so.
Close enough that it's not. It's no longer like what is that? It's like when you know.
And there's no way people can have their theories about the government doing. There's no way the government created this. Nobody on Earth created what I saw.
Right.
Nobody on Earth created it. This came from another planet.
Right, and I've never seen anything move like these things move and stuff like that. And the clincher of the thing is they never make a sound.
Right.
Everything that we know of on Earth that can haul ass, so to speak, makes a racket in the process.
It
makes a noise when
a big racket.
No, that stuff doesn't make a noise,
no.
and after you see something like that and it doesn't even make a noise, you can't say anything else. But that's not from down the street.
Exactly. Yeah. And my only wish is that now that I'm an adult, that I can see something like that again, and be that close to it, because then I would have the sense enough to go.
Okay,
run and investigate.
Can you give us an idea of what year that was?
Well, I was 14, so that was 1984.
Okay, 84. Okay, the particle beam accelerator, I guess, went up in 1980. But it would be my guess that it was not fully functional for quite a while after it went up.
Still may not be.
According to Reagan, it's not. He says it was a misfire, and that was the end of it. We've never heard no more about it. So, I mean, that's their story.
Even if they've got a particle beam up there, even if the particle beam is in fact capable of damaging something like what we're describing, it's a matter of hitting it.
Well, no. Oh, there's no problem. That's what the global positioning system thing is all about. You see, you've got to have a whole system of satellites that are all interconnected in order to map and control all the various areas, and you've got to get that whole system synchronized and working, and you've got to get something that can produce massive power to drive so I would say that it's been an ongoing project over the years. That's what I would say.
Now, I do think our government has probably spoken with extraterrestrials, and I know there's a lot of theories floating around about that, but I think some of our technology has come from other planets, because if you look at even the Industrial Revolution, and I know the Industrial Revolution created the stepping stone for us to mass advance, but not mass advance the way we have. I mean, it took us, if you go just back when Christ was alive, 2,000 years to get to the Industrial Revolution, and then 35 years to get to computers, or 45 years to get computers. I mean, that's too much of a. To me, I just can't fathom a jump like that just because it created an an engine.
Well, I have
In those days, 64
I have a theory. I have a theory
was
that
a big thing, and they went to 640.
Yeah.
I have a theory that the intelligent extraterrestrial is a music lover, and I've got to tell you that I think in the '60s we had some rockin' music going on this planet,
And that's why they showed up so often in the 60s?
I think that.
Probably
Well,
just
maybe
because
they'll
they
join
had to say-
thisismyband.com.
Well, no. Here's the problem, and here's why I think we don't see them much anymore, is because also right around 1980 is when they formatted the digital audio formats that we've got. And to begin with, everything that we were broadcasting prior to that, we were broadcasting from analog sources, and even extraterrestrials looking at our broadcasts from analog sources must have thought, whoa, what kind of storage media do they have for that? Because the sampling rates and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it would just defy digital. Looking at that and all, and then all of a sudden we pop up with this 16-bit and 44.1K system that everything was quantized to, and as soon as everything got quantized to that, then I think the space aliens would have gone, what happened? These people that had like this incredibly organic signals coming out that we've been monitoring, and now all of a sudden, they've got this really low-tech, horrible, quantized.
Well, perhaps they can't even listen to it because if you go back to those days, the leakage was high through our Earth, through the atmosphere.
Stratosphere.
Yeah, the stratosphere. And now with all this digital, the new wiring they've got, the new antennas they got, the new all this stuff, it's just not penetrating it like it used to. It's just more bouncing around. So maybe some of these other planets out there, they may think that Earth is just destroyed. Earth is no more because they're not receiving anything anymore. I'm sure there's still some leakage. I'm sure they still, there's still leakage. I'm sure, but I'm sure the leakage is now minimal.
Arecibo isn't linkage; it's broadcast.
It's broadcast. I know that, but I'm saying that as far as radio goes and television.
Have you picked another song?
I got another song. We're almost out of time anyhow.
Knock it out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Knock it out.